Welcome back to Wiser with Your Health. Tonight, we are going to be talking about, I guess it could be day for you if you're on the other side of the earth. We're going to be talking about Beyond Meat. This is called the Beyond Burger. It's plant-based patties. Says it has 20 grams of plant proteins per serving. No soy, no gluten. Now we're going to be discussing this because this is going to be something that's pretty good to be from being a meat alternative. Now, I don't know if there's very many people out there like me. I was bit by something. They say it's a tick possibly, but I no longer can eat red meat. I have not been able to eat red meat for about the last 6 years. So steaks, can't do. Hamburgers, can't do. Beef, hot dogs, I can't do. So when these things started coming out, it was a way for me to begin to be able to feel like I was having some kind of meat. Now, I do eat fish. So I guess they call those pescatarians or something like that. Well, I only eat fish because that's about the only meat that I can eat. I guess I could eat chicken too, but I choose not to because of what they do to them and what they pump them full of. So I'm really trying to watch my meat intake. But however, let's get back to the Beyond Burger. Let's look at a couple of some information pieces about it. It says that it has 35% less saturated fat than meat. So what I have found is in the Beyond Burger, they actually only come with 2 patties per pack. And I know if you saw my last video that I did about 2 or 3 videos ago where I actually made some stir fry and used some of the hot dogs that they had, which was very good hot dogs. I love them. But of course, you know, with all things, you have to be very careful about what you're eating, and especially if that food isn't necessarily in its natural state. So this is a altered processed type of plant-based food. Probably not as bad as most. It doesn't necessarily have the all the toxic ingredients that that most have. But you know, they are pretty good, and it is a good substitute. So I'm gonna read some of the ingredients of these. It says water, pea protein, expeller pressed canola oil. It says refined coconut oil, which is very good. The bad part about it says the natural flavors. No one knows what the natural flavors are. And that's not good. Natural flavors can mean from between a beaver's behind to make a raspberry flavor. And yes, I know it sounds crazy, but somebody has tested out the raspberry flavoring from between a beaver's legs. So who they get to do that, I don't know. You're not going to pay me to do that. But it also has coconut butter. It has mung bean protein, methylcycellulose, potato starch, apple extract, okay, pomegranate extract, salt, potassium, potassium chloride, vinegar, has lemon, has juice concentrate, sunflower lecithin, has beet juice extract for color. See, I can somewhat get down with that. At least I know what most of the ingredients are in this meat. But let me give you a little bit of history about this meat. Sorry for the noise. I'm going to lean this up against my microphone so that you can continue to look at this wonderfully packaged. No, I am not sponsored by them at all. By no means am I sponsored. I wish I was. Maybe I would get some of it at a discounted price because it is expensive. I believe I paid close to $7 for these 2 patties. Now, they do have other meat out there, other plant-based meat, supposedly, and it's called the Impossible meat. And we're going to talk about that. Listen, let's be honest. All of this stuff was created in a lab. So it's not like you went out to your garden and you picked this stuff and started eating it, and you're going to get the same positive health effects from it. But it is something that in moderation you can use as a meat. So let's get a little bit of history about the company. It says the company was founded as a California-based startup called Savage River Inc. Savage River Inc. by Ethan Brown in 2009. Brown initially contacted two University of Missouri professors, Fu Hung and Heisch and Harold Huff, who had already been refining their meatless protein for years. The duo spent nearly a decade in the university lab working different temperatures and pressures to get their mixture of soybean and pea proteins as close to the look and feel of real chicken as possible. It took them another 5 years to come up with a recipe for Beyond Meat's first product, chicken-free strips, which the company released to a limited location in 2012. The company has received venture funding from Great Point Ventures, Klein Perkins, Obvious Corporation, Bill Gates. That makes me question things. Bill Gates, Biz Stone, the Humane Society, and Tyson's Food. Now that scares me to know that the Humane Society has to do with funding of a meatless patty. Okay, so the company began selling its plant-based chicken products in Whole Foods supermarkets across the U.S. in April of 2013. In 2014, it developed a simulated beef product. The People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals named Beyond Meat as its Company of the Year for 2013. In 2014, Beyond Meat expanded its presence from 1,500 to 6,000 stores across the U.S. Listen to this. Tyson's Foods purchased a 5% stake in Beyond Meat in October of 2016. Now you're going to go to your the people who are going to be your rivals. You're selling chicken, they're selling fake chicken. And so you're going to go and buy into that company. That's pretty wild. It sold its 6.5 stake and exited the investment in April of 2019 ahead of the company's initial public offering. In June 2018, Beyond Meat opened its second production facility in Columbia, Missouri. Okay, so they're going on about this. So just know this. This was created in a lab. I would love to tell you that it is all natural. I would love for it to be all natural because I tell you, when I throw these things up on my grill, on my smoker, if they get to dripping, that beet juice, that red juice that comes off, it looks like blood, actually. It really does. But that beet juice gets to dropping off of those patties onto those charcoals. Oh, wee. I'm telling you, my mouth is watering. But you have to do things in moderation. So I know that I can't eat these things all day for every meal, which I used to be a meat lover. I just couldn't go a meal without eating meat. But so I do eat meat now. And this helps me to think that I'm eating meat. So I do fish. And again, I do these. I'm actually going to bring the Beyond hot dogs in, and we're going to discuss that and look at that as well. So I've just read to you the description of what is in this stuff. And like I said, it is better than eating the stuff that they pump these animals full of now and put it on, it's for your steaks and for your hamburgers. It is better than that, but the downside is it was created in a lab and they did use natural flavors. We don't know what those natural flavors were. So if you can't get past the natural flavors, then I probably would suggest you probably shouldn't eat these. But we don't know exactly what the natural flavors are for sure. So we may just want to, for real about this, pray that it's not anything that is unclean and harmful to our bodies. But for the majority of it, it is pretty good stuff. So the hamburger, I forgot to tell you this, it is non-GMO. It is no soy. So, they did the chicken with the soy, but this is no soy. I heard that a lot of vegans, people sometimes catch cancer because of the amount of soy that they're ingesting. But this is no soy and it is gluten free. So it's okay for a meat alternative. You know, nothing is going to be perfect. Most of the food that we eat now, we can't tell you what it is, but this turns out to be a pretty good meat. It tastes well. If you grill it and smoke it also, I'm telling you, it is something else. It will make your mouth water. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed this particular show. I'm going to do this frequently. We're going to talk about the foods that we eat, and we're going to talk about whether they are good for you. And we're going to talk about whether it is not good for you. So you can cook these on the grill and you can cook them in the skillet. So hope you enjoyed this. You all take care, and I will see you next time. Peace.